And we're off. Schizolinea on the way home from work. Oh, I just crushed a ball. Pretty sure I just saw a dead turtle smashed on the road. Awesome. I'm gonna turn around and look. Yeah, it was something. And somebody else just ran over it. Yep. That's a turtle. And I'm sure this was on purpose too. And so that is a sad beginning to the ride. And of course I'm gonna feel like that's my fault. And then I'm gonna realize nobody else gives a shit. Why should I? As I said on the way to work today, we're all just food for something else. Except for humans. Anyway. Had some crazy thoughts today. I'm going to share them, see if it helps. I've had all of them before in one form or another. One thing that my brain does, and I've exercised it to this point, is it takes words like, I'll take that word stop up there on the stop sign, and I'll try and turn it into something else, an acronym, move the letters around, just do straight up backwards. But I did that today, and this isn't going to make sense to anyone. It seemed to me that the girl I worked with at KFC in college was the same one that had an internship where I got my first internship. And the only way that could possibly be true is if it was a demon or an angel or, something non-human. Well, and this would cover the second part too. They could change bodies, like shapeshift. Like a Star Trek character or something. I don't know. Anyway. You don't care. But I was a coward today, again. But I'm always a coward. And being a coward needs to be good enough for me. Because that's me. I'm a coward. And I thought more about the Jesse Pinkman thing I said earlier. Makes me happy when I see that. But if you believe in the Bible, it says you shouldn't love the things of men. So when you create a thing of man, you shouldn't care. All glory goes to God. That reminds me of a Rick and Morty. All glory to Gorzo. I think that's what it was called. But anyway. So what are you supposed to do? You're not supposed to celebrate things here? Why don't we all just slit our throats and say, glory to God? Is that glory? It seems to be glory when it's war. It isn't life physically here versus the supernatural of war. Well, if we were supposed to do that, I couldn't. I had plenty of chances to end my physical existence, and I cannot do it. And I don't think about it that much anymore. I definitely don't make the situation where I could do it. You know, go to the spot. I've done that so many times. Had my neck in a noose. Been ready to jump from some high place. Had a gun in my hand. Done it so many times, I know I can't do it. It's very similar to how I've lived most of my life. I've tried something so many times, and I can't do it, then I give up. And it usually doesn't take that many times. Because from the time I was small, I was good at the stuff you're supposed to be good at to succeed in life. And that didn't work out. Anyway, thought about listing off all the times I was a coward today. I did that once. And as I was listing all the times there was a girl there, or a woman, if you have a preference on which word I say, and I didn't go talk to him, I didn't say anything, I just was scared and didn't show up, or, you know, scared and didn't say anything. There was a couple hundred of them, and that was 5 years ago, so since then there's probably been another 500,000, I don't know. Oh, the part I thought I forgot to mention was, I think those things are on purpose. God sent me that person to whatever. Or it could be Satan. If I sold my soul and I sold it to get a wife or whatever, then he'd be selling me people or sending me people. But we don't actually have transactions for human beings anymore. It's not outwardly slavery. We're not outwardly property. However, corporations and individual people, and probably very many customer service people or locations, treat people like they're not people. Like they're slaves. Like, you're supposed to be here to pay me. You're supposed to be here to buy this. So on and so forth. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe we are. Somebody owns the world, so technically we're all slaves. I'm guessing. I don't really know. Oh, but I was listing out all those times that I was a coward. I was beginning to say that. And I stopped in the middle, I took my dog out to pee, and another one showed up right then. Oh, anyway. Oh, this is a big hill. And that one that showed up, what I think it is some being that can change bodies, shapeshift, and is somehow linked to me. I never tried to summon a demon or an angel, or I prayed to God, and that was a triggering event, a bad one that ruined my psyche. Well, it began the ruin. Well, I guess I can't say ruined. I'm doing all right now. It just took it down a big downhill slide. Anyway, but I've never done a spell or tried to do anything like that. I have wished a million times that one of them would just tell me the truth, but that's impossible. If you can see the Matrix, you're not in it. You're not a part of it. You're not helping it go. So you're against it, right? I don't know. I'm just insane, so it doesn't really matter. Or maybe it does. I don't know. Okay, well, let's start it off with me, my cowardice. First thing I can remember is a picture of me when I was a very small child, hiding behind my mother's leg when we were knocking on somebody's door. I don't know who took the picture, but they took a picture of me hiding behind my mom's leg, looking like I was scared out of my mind. And that one really shouldn't count. That's probably less than 5 years old. But anyway, next. Scanning. I think we go up to 2nd grade. Got another one in second grade. There was a girl in my siblings class who was, at that time, let's see, how old was I? She was 75% older than I was. Anyway, we had a substitute, and it was actually our principal. Which doesn't really matter, but he had us play a game, and the game was, I'm gonna put a dollar bill, and I think this is actually quite terrible, teaching us to love money and wanting to win shit. Anyway, whatever. He put a dollar bill inside a book, told us all to guess what page it was on, closest number one. So we all guessed, and I won. I got $1. And what did you do with $1? Then, when you're in second grade, in that little town, you went to another dead turtle. Awesome. Leaving death in my wake. Forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, you go to the secretary and say, hey, can I have 4 quarters? Then you take those quarters and you go to the soda machine and you get a soda. So I was too scared to talk to the secretary, so I had my friend go in there for me. And when he was in there, the girl in my older siblings class walked by and smiled at me. It was really cool because I thought she was gorgeous. But I'm pretty sure that's the only time I ever saw her in that school. She was a lot older than me. Anyway, I see that as being on purpose. Spirits and whatnot. And I don't know how they work. And I'll never know how they work. And it makes me really sad. Because no one else in their right mind would think, or maybe in their wrong mind, would think that that was on purpose. I do. I also think that that sibling told me that girl liked the same temperature I did, so I'd like her more. Because I doubt she even knew what temperature outside she'd like. I didn't. I said I liked it in the 50s when I was that age, and that's too cold. Anyway, so that's dumb. This is so stupid. Anyway, the reason I'm doing all the coward stuff is there's 2 girls in the shipping office today. I don't ever hit on girls. My shift leader on my shift said, hit on a bitch one time. In encouragement after I told him that I don't ever date because I'm a coward. And the other one said, when I told him that I was shy, so I never did what he had told me that he did, I said, he said, I forced myself not to be shy. And I can't do that. They're just not very often. It has happened, it's just really rare. It's just really rare. And you know, when I thought all this stuff was on purpose, not just people walking by or whatever, you know, people's words and billboards and mailboxes and places I lived and places they lived, and I felt loved. I felt like God loved me. So I kept doing it. As many people have put in themes and movies and books, probably. I don't know that for sure. I've definitely heard it in songs. Love is a drug. And so is positive human interaction, like I said earlier today. Anyway, we just passed the church. Who cares? Anyway, the cowardice is I didn't go and talk to them. I have a line. Seemed as though whatever was telling me to use said line. I did not. So, and as I said, positive human interaction helps me. Those interactions are very likely not going to be positive. As I'm for a lifetime. Every female interaction ends in rejection. Unless they were already married. Then it can't. Anyway, there was one of those thoughts put into my head today, and it was the melody of a song that I don't know very well. Which is why I think it was on purpose. It was ABBA. Take a chance on me. There you go. I guess you could say that was my subconscious encouraging me or something. And maybe all the on purpose is my subconscious, in addition to reading too much into stuff. That's probably what it is. Anyway. I see you, buddy. Here comes another one. Like those two cars passing on purpose. How do I derive meaning from that? I can do it. No one will believe it. Because it's garbage meaning. Okay. We're going. Take a chance on me. Something put me to the test. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know that. The reason I say that was on purpose is because the only reason I listened to that album is because of a picture of a person. Not coincidentally, the person I thought was the other person. You know, what I said at the beginning of this. I thought a girl was a different girl, like shape-shifted, changed bodies. Well, that was one of them. The second one, if that matters to anybody. And now that's back in my head. And it'll probably dance around in there for a few days. So, another reason I thought it was on purpose is another one of their songs is Dancing Queen. And I watched porn again this weekend. I'm a cam girl. She was gorgeous, probably half my age, because I'm a disgusting old man. But she didn't take off her clothes. She just kind of danced and moved a little bit. Thought she was gorgeous. And like the rest of them, well, not the rest of them, just some of them, I said, hey, will you marry me? And she didn't respond, because they never do. So I downloaded some of her pictures, rubbed one out to that, and then she was online the next night, and I didn't do it again, which is unusual. But I also didn't drink that day, so I don't know if there's a correlation there. I usually think there's a correlation between chewing tobacco and masturbation, but you know, maybe there's not. I did do that. I have lowered my intake. Like, I didn't have any today at work. I did have some candy though. This is the same thing I do. I beat myself up for not talking to the, for not attempting. And then I went and pleasured myself with candy, with sugar, instead of nicotine, or just something that seems familiar, that brings back something nice. Anyway, who thinks I need a therapist? Everyone? Alright. And I had a text exchange today with a guy from my hometown who has been a linchpin in my psychosis because of a nickname another guy called him, because of that other guy, because of their association with this third guy, and other things of that nature. And based on what he texted, it seems that that's true, or at least part of it. Or he's one of the shapeshifters, and he might be a employee at my work. Anyway, how many times have I said anyway? We could turn it into a drinking game. Anyway, that might be my most used phrase. That is useless and unnecessary. No, I don't know that it's useless. It is definitely unnecessary. Take a chance on me when you put me to the test. Take a chance on me. I don't know the words to that little song, and it is too fast for me to make up lyrics. I don't have anything to talk about. I also was a coward with the girl that reminds me of the song, or that this song reminds me of. Hey doggies, sorry. There's some dogs. You know, I think that turtle thing was on purpose. Because when I went to AA on Saturday, or, yeah, what's that? That was Saturday, yeah, 2 days ago. I went to AA, and there was a turtle outside. I didn't tell my parents where I was going. And my dad said that he wanted to see a turtle like a year ago when I found one down in the woods. And we went back out there. It was gone. So, by not telling my parents where I was going, I think I was doing the wrong thing. Even though in AA I said to the people, I'm doing this so my parents will be okay. But they're not going to ask about it. Nobody ever asks about anything. Not anymore, anyway. All social interactions are on me. And the only reason I ever had friends was because other people reached out to me, invited me places. When they grew up, had families. That ended. I don't know how to maintain relationships with other people. Because I guess I leave it all on them to do the calling. Although if they say no to an invitation a couple of times, then I kind of give up. That's me. I give up. Except on chewing tobacco and alcohol, and well, I haven't smoked weed in a couple years. Since right before I got a DUI. Anyway. Just running away from something I can't run away from. Me. Can't run away from needing money also. Which was one of the things from the text messages from a guy in high school tonight. We had a investment program on a computer when we were in junior high in one of the classes called Money Matters, and gave us $100,000 to invest. And one of the guys invested in a penny stock that went from 1/16 or so, he said tonight, to 1. He said it happened overnight, but based on what I remember about the money, I don't think that's accurate. Although he did point out holes in his memory. And I could give you psychotic reasons about what they were about. But I'm not going to do that, because I'll just go off on a tangent. Anyway, so he made over $1 million in like a day or a week or whatever it actually was. I don't remember. It's a long time ago. And he also said the OJ trial was live. He said that tonight. And I'm pretty sure that's when we were in 4th grade, not junior high. And it was one other thing. I don't know, but the stock that he invested in was a fraud. They made up some stuff to hold the stock price up, and then it was found out that stuff wasn't true. And so, it was one of the first ones of those. And it was a fingerprint company, and my psychosis told me that it was because I left fingerprints on my brother-in-law's gun when I went out to intent on killing myself. But I didn't. Instead, I'm here blabbing a bunch of garbage after I've been a terrible adult for well over a decade. Started going bad when I left the first job I got out of college because I didn't have any friends. Got worse when I left the second one. Well, I had one small group of friends that I probably hung out with 3 times a year or something like that. After that second one, had no friends because I didn't realize, or maybe I did, just didn't care. That second job was because of that guy. That's the only reason I got it. That's the only reason you get any job. Talent or knowledge or whatever doesn't get you a job. It's people you know. It's knowing people. Because you can be shit at a job and still get it over someone that would be great at it. Anyway. Oh, there's another anyway. So when stuff like that happens, and then that turtle getting smashed today, like, I believe spirits direct those turtles to where they're at, and I also think that hat on the ground back there right when I said that was on purpose, but that's crazy. Anyway, I guess this is what you could say, me spiraling, although I'm not having an emotional reaction to any of it, so it's not having a negative effect. I don't remember what I was saying. Crap. Maybe the hat was supposed to distract me, and that's God's way of helping me out. Alright, thank you. Thank you. Oh, there you go. I remember it now, which means I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm always afraid I'm doing the wrong thing. And that turtle that was there that I should have gone and told my dad about. Instead, I went to AA in secret. And who goes to AA in secret? Do other people do that? I'm curious now. But the turtle that got smashed in the parking lot at the place, why was he going up there, man? The water was all the way like 100 yards away. I don't know what he's doing there. Poor guy. And nobody else would care. So. And at some point, that would end my day. Seeing that, thinking it was on purpose by God or the evil one or Satan or something non-Christian that is more than man. And that would end my day because it's depressing being here in that instance. I think teenagers are having sex in that car. Alright. That's cool. Is that on purpose? I mean, when I was a teenager, I had sex on purpose. When I finally found somebody that wanted to. Although the girl I dated before her wanted to also, I just wasn't aggressive. And I probably could have done it with a couple more, but I didn't. Because I'm a coward. Oh, hey, full circle. Look at that. Actually, that wasn't a full circle. That was a drunken stumble that ended up where he started. Anyway, cowardice. Alright, cowardice. How about that? Can't think of that one. I'm sure there is one. I don't remember what it is though. Oh wait, here's one. I'll go grade by grade. This would be third. We had to jungle gym or whatever. One of those crooked ladders that goes back and forth. That's parallel to the ground. We had one of those. Me and my friend. Well, actually, my friend did it first. Well, I'm gonna go down a hill, so just a minute. You know what? Fuck it. Or fart it. Sorry. He jumped first. We wanted to see how many rungs we could jump out to from the little platform at the end of the ladder thingy. And he jumped out to the third one, if I remember the numbers correctly. And so I tried to jump out to the fourth one. And I got my hands on it. But then the bottom of my body swung. And I couldn't stop the momentum with the grip on my hands. I did a backflip and landed in the rocks. Might be the only... Oh no, we used to do backflips in the pool. Never mind. And I landed in the rocks elbow first. Jammed a bunch of elbow first stuff, or rocks into that elbow with a like 1.5 inch long gash. He was pulling rocks out of there for a while. Anyway, the cowardice part is I didn't want to tell anybody. I was embarrassed. Because I did something wrong. Embarrassment has probably run my life. Shame, embarrassment, whatever other adjective or descriptor you could say that would fit that. Probably run my life more than anything else. I don't know. Pretty sure that it has. That's probably why I didn't tell my parents about AA. Embarrassed that I need it. Although I don't think I do. I'm not sure I'm an alcoholic. And bunny rabbits, alright. Alright, we made it back. And I can't see that moon. That was a cool looking orange moon from here. Oh well. This is just a waste of gigabytes anyway, right? Okay. Was that productive? Let's get Millennial out.